So, Cameron, what did we see yesterday?
Jurassic World Dominion.
We did see it. So I'm going to talk about what I was thinking before I saw the movie, and then you're going to talk about it, right?
Okay.
So, I was very skeptically optimistic going into this thing. Even though Fallen Kingdom was just hot garbage, that movie was atrocious, I still get a lot of enjoyment out of the first Jurassic World movie. And the original director is coming back for this concluding chapter, so, I mean, I was hopeful enough. The trailers.
Did he really?
Yeah. The
It doesn't seem like accurate to the older one.
No. I mean the first Jurassic World movie.
Did he not direct the other one?
No. So another guy directed it.
Was dog shit, right?
Yeah. Fallen Kingdom was terrible. And also the idea of dinosaurs being let loose in the real world, and like in Earth, is something that I've been like waiting to see be explored on screen for a very long time. Don't you agree with me on that? Like seeing the dinosaurs out in the real world.
Oh yeah.
I think
that's like cool.
That's really what got me on board to even see this
watch
movie.
The dinosaur documentary where it's like filmed like a nature documentary?
Of course. Oh, I know, on Apple TV, right? Is it new?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to watch. I used to watch those kinds of things all the time. Anyway.
I love that.
So, I was hopefully optimistic going into this thing. The trailers a little bit won me over, but and were you?
Me very much.
We're both disappointed by this movie. It kind of took any goodwill, any momentum, any kind of hype that we had for this movie.
Or like comeback, like nostalgic kind of reawakening. What's the word? Like just like a little blast to the past. Like, oh, it's the last one. Like let's make it the best one. Let's close it out well. Let's go back to our roots.
Any optimism I had for this movie died within the first 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember turning to you and just being like, "This is fucking stupid," and you're like, "Yep, yeah," and I don't know. It takes this genuinely great premise and wastes it because of the absolutely atrocious script. This honestly might be one of the worst written movies I've ever seen. And I mean, I'm not going to say Jurassic World Dominion is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's not. It's not nearly as bad. It's not even as bad as Fallen Kingdom, I would say. But man, specifically the script for this movie is fucking atrociously bad.
So just stupid.
Mm.
Everything that came out of their mouth, I was just like.
All of it seemed improvised. I don't know how much of this movie is obviously improvised, but most of the dialogue and interactions between the two characters seemed improvised and made up on the spot.
It's like, it seemed like kind of, do you know those like movie parodies they make, making fun of movies?
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
Because the whole movie, it was just like, it's like, grab my hand! No, I can't! Grab my hand!
Or like,
they need you!
You know those dialogue things where it's like, let her go! How that's in like every movie.
Yeah.
Or, you should have killed me, but I had the chance. It's just a bunch of that, like, cliche after cliche after cliche after cliche. And it focuses way too heavily on the human characters and this locust plotline. I'm not going to say that's more of like a spoiler because it's something that happens in the first 15 minutes. So that's not... I don't think that would be a spoiler, but...
A spoiler would be, like, revealing.
Yeah. It just, like, it focuses on the aspects of Jurassic World that make it shitty. Like, none of us care about Chris Pratt and his girlfriend and this girl that they basically stole, who is not their daughter, who had zero chemistry with either of them. We do not care. And the revival characters that come back, the legacy characters that come back, none of those actors gave two shits in this movie, and we were never invested in them in the first place. They are fine enough, not necessarily one and done characters, but they were fine enough in the original Jurassic Park trilogy. They were fine. They were amazing characters in the first movie. But here, they obviously did not want to be there. They obviously really didn't put any effort into writing them that well. So it just pissed me off because... why are we bringing back these older characters if we're just going to rehash the same shit? You know what I mean?
Because
I'm cursing a lot in this. I need to stop cursing.
Jurassic Park, like, it's the dinosaurs that make it Jurassic Park. It's like the whole concept of like humans playing God and nature taking back what's theirs, and like there weren't even any good dinosaur parts.
That's that I think, like, and they ended up in another fucking park, in another reservation, in another like confined area to battle the big bad corporate guy, and that just fundamentally misunderstands what makes Jurassic Park so good. I think, and what made the premise of this movie bring people in. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like what they tried to do with Scream and.
But I thought Scream did that really well. Halloween, the Texas Chainsaw movie brought back an old character.
Like every
requel.
Yeah. Every requel that is doing the same exact thing right now. Mm-hmm. Every single like end of an era kind of thing. All they do is revive the old characters, and it's just like, come watch. Like, oh my god, did you hear that? Da-da-da is back. Like, they're back. They brought them back. They're in the movie again, and nobody cares. Like, I'm sure there are people that like Jurassic Park a lot and are like, oh my god, like, I love these people, but like, they didn't make or break the movie. Like, they were actors in this movie, and like, they probably made money from it and stuff. But it's like, it's the dinosaurs. It's the concept over.
Yeah, I agree with you. I liked the first Jurassic World movie in spite of the shitty writing and the characters.
Yeah, I liked the first one because it was like basically a remake of the first one.
Yeah, but it gave us that like horror, like action horror-ish, where there was really terrifying dinosaurs, and we got to see a lot of them. We got to have dinosaurs, and this movie takes the concept of having dinosaurs in the real world and takes that idea away from us for this really crappy locust plotline. It's really hard putting into words how bad this script really was and how lazy most of the performances were. Chris Pratt was phoning it in. All the legacy characters were phoning it in hard. All of the new characters that they kind of put in were fine. They were okay. I'm not going to say the actors did a bad job. I just think they were really poorly written and just kind of shoehorned in there. And the hilariously bad line delivery from most of the cast. I was laughing at some of the scenes with just, what the fuck? Why did they just react that way? Why are they improvising most of this movie?
I feel like every single moment was made like so sentimental and like emotional.
Yeah.
And I was just watching like, okay, well now they're doing this. Okay, now they're doing that. The only part I enjoyed was like the suspenseful like, you know, the scene where
they're in the cave.
No, the scene where she's like the thing, and it's like,
oh
she like, hides in the pond.
Yeah.
Like that. I thought it was like really cool.
Yeah.
And like interesting. Not interesting. I don't know.
Oh, and the villain, the antagonist of this movie, was just a spineless weirdo.
Yeah, just like, who is this?
And there was no. His character introduction was awful. That whole interaction with Dr. Grant and what's the girl's name?
Do you know what it reminded me of? A Netflix movie.
Which one?
All of them. Do you know how they're all like bright and shiny?
Exactly. Yeah.
And like all the characters are like just like bright and shiny, and like they don't look like real people.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
It's like all produced like plastic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
that makes sense.
Well, I just, the antagonist, he did not need to be there. They could have just had a faceless regime or something, like just like a company be the villain and not have this just terrible, really unimposing, non-threatening villain that they kind of forget about throughout the movie. And the amount of crowd-pleasing character reveals, and I know exactly what I'm talking about. Like the character reveals,
that like music where it's like
it's slow,
like hopeful, and they're like get out of car and they're like.
Yeah, and it was doing that thing where, you know, in a sitcom, where they see a character and like the can laugh, like they all cheer.
Yeah.
They were doing that, but for the audience in the theaters, and we went opening night, silence. Nobody clapped. Nobody gave a shit.
Besides the guy next to me breathing.
Yeah, oh god.
He was breathing really loud.
That's besides the point. But it was just super obnoxious and reeked of studio interference. And any scene that starts to become the slightest bit entertaining is severely undercut by the awful shaky cam. This movie's shot really poorly in terms of the action sequences.
I noticed that, too.
Yeah. Like, every time there was a suspenseful moment, every time, okay, this is kind of getting good. We're getting dinosaurs, finally. We're getting what we paid for it. A dumb, entertaining movie that is suspenseful. But it was just undercut with this really awful shaky cam that framed each of the action sequences in a really, really poor way. So, kind of like concluding thoughts here. It completely wasted the premise. I really did not like the Locust plot, subplot that really did not need to be thrown in there. The script was atrociously bad. All of the legacy characters were really not worth it and were needed. And what was my other point? And the antagonist just really not even being a presence in this movie. I'm not going to say it's atrocious, because it's mostly boringly bad. There's just a lot of it that pissed me off. It's the kind of bad where you see it, and like, I didn't necessarily waste 2 hours of my life, but I wasted 2 hours of my life. Yeah. Well, no, because I think Moxie's a little worse, just because they like the performative activism in that movie is genuinely harmful. Yeah. Whereas I feel like this movie's like, this is just a dumb blockbuster. This is just like fluff.
Like, in terms of like the execution, it was all just dumb.
Yeah, and again, like, I can't say this is anything worse than like Morbius, because it's not. This is not a Morbius. This is not like a Fantastic Beasts was definitely worse than this movie, but I can't quite call it terrible, and that almost makes it worse, just because there's not even ironic enjoyment with this movie. It's just kind of
like,
there.
I would never watch this movie again.
No, but I also...
Like,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. It's also... I don't think it's where it's like, I need that 2 hours back right now. I need a refund. That was atrocious. That was so terrible. It's just... like, yeah, that was bad. That was a bad movie.
Like, I just left and I was like, okay, I'm hungry. I don't... Anyway.
Yeah. It's forgetful. That's the word I was kind of stumbling for. It was forgettable. This movie was forgettably bad.
Yeah, like, what even happened in those 2 hours? I don't remember.
You want to give your rating?
Why did I didn't think of one?
You want me to do mine first?
Yeah.
Alright. So I'm going to give it a really light C-.
You can give it F.
You're giving it an F, the worst grade? Because
it's just, like, torture. Thinking about it. Because I forgot about it. Honestly. You were like, oh, let's do a review. And I was like, huh, yeah.
Alright.
I don't want to think about it.
No, me neither.
What's higher than an F?
A D-.
E? Why are there no E grades? D, E.
I'm not the American grading system. Anyway, that's our review.
D-.
Give it a D-?
Because the dinosaurs are cool.
Okay. Anyway. So that's our review of Jurassic World Dominion. We're going to be seeing Crimes in the Near Future on Monday. So
I already had a nightmare about it.
She did. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching so much. Thank you, Kim, for coming back.
Of course.
Love you.
Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, like and subscribe, because Jake works really hard and he really thinks these out, and he really cares about making videos. So show support, even if you don't like him.
Wow.
Comment what you could do better. What he could do better.
Okay, that's fair.
And watch all of his other videos.
Like she does.
Or else, yeah. And comment your favorite color down below for a chance to win a $5 Amazon gift card.
Don't do that. I don't have money. See you guys later.